By the end of this video, you'll find out why the fancy pair of shoes sitting in your closet was originally designed to help elite military soldiers execute their enemies.
It's absolutely true. John, and these weren't high-fashion statements, they were high-tech military gear.
So soldiers were marching into battle in stilettos? Julie. And this is the Everyday Origins show.
Well, they weren't exactly marching, Julie.
Okay, hold on. When I think of high heels, I think of runways, not battlefields. Were they trying to look taller to intimidate the enemy?
That's a very common guess, but no. It had absolutely nothing to do with height or vanity.
So, they weren't just trying to show off their legs? Then what was the actual point?
To understand that, we have to travel back to 10th century Persia.
Persia? Like actual horseback archers? How does a chunk of wood under your heel help you shoot an arrow?
It was all about the stirrups. When an archer stands up on a galloping horse to take a shot, they need perfect stability.
The heel was basically a physical locking mechanism?
Exactly. The heel slotted perfectly into the stirrup, preventing the foot from slipping. But without it.
Wait, so if they didn't have heels, would they just fly off the horse while trying to aim their bows?
Pretty much. A sudden bump could send an archer sliding, ruining their shoulder, throwing them under the heavy hooves.
So this was literal life-or-death hardware. But wait, how did these muddy combat boots end up in fancy European palaces?
Well, that shift happened because of a high-profile diplomatic visit.
Let me guess. European kings saw the Persian soldiers and thought, wow, those shoes look incredibly masculine?
Spot on. In 1599, a Persian delegation arrived in Europe. Aristocrats took one look at their boots and fell in love.
Wait, so the trend started because European men wanted to look like tough, exotic soldiers?
Exactly. To them, the heel screamed, "I own horses, and I am a warrior even," if they'd never fought a day in their lives. But then, things got complicated.
That is hilarious. So, it was basically the 17th century equivalent of buying a giant military truck you don't actually need.
Precisely. But then, the women of Europe decided they wanted to join in on the power
fashion. Did they want
fashion.
the heels for horse riding too?
Not at all. Women started adopting men's fashion trends like smoking pipes, wearing hats, and putting on heels to assert their equality. But that backfired for the men.
I love that. So women reclaimed the heel as a power move. But how did men end up completely ditching them?
Once women started wearing them, men panicked. They thought heels made them look too effeminate. So by the 18th century, men abandoned them entirely.
So men literally threw away their military technology just because women looked cooler in it?
Pretty much. And that is how our rugged combat boot slowly evolved into the glamorous stiletto we see today.
Unbelievable. So every time someone struts into a room wearing heels, they are technically wearing the descendants of ancient Persian tactical gear.
Exactly. It's the ultimate military crossover that fashion ever saw.
I will never look at my shoe rack the same way again. Do you think men will ever bring high heels back into mainstream fashion? Tell us in the comments. And if you want to find out why the humble necktie actually began as a protective neck shield for mercenaries, hit subscribe. Stay curious.